Hello and welcome everybody. This is Quagraine, your real estate investor mentor coach. In today's episode is a little bit intimate. It's very closer to home. We're talking about the 5 expert tips for real estate success. 5 expert tips for real estate success. If you're like many people, right? Your mind is currently at that position or at that place where you're looking for more success in your life. You're looking for how do I put this? You know when you want to see growth in everything that you do, yeah? And for you, that element of progress is just enough for you to measure to say that at least because you're moving up, you're succeeding. That's the place that I was in a couple of weeks ago, where I just had to sit down and say, how did we get here? And now that we've gotten here, how can I really package this learnings, especially as if I was talking to the 25-year-old me that started out in this journey of real estate investing, so that somebody else may pick up the same things and hopefully if they follow it step by step, be able to build a successful real estate portfolio. I'm talking to you. That has always had that thought of money not being a hindrance to the things that you want to do in this world, but rather for you to basically realize that money is nothing but a tool and an enabler, and hopefully use it as well yourself, or be in a position to use it to help other people. And that's what today's video is all about. So stay tuned. We're sharing the 5 expert tips for real estate success. So what are these 5 real estate expert tips? What would I have said to the 25-year-old me starting out? Number 1, always know the game. There is nothing as frustrating as dressing up for a soccer game only to arrive at a rugby pitch. You wouldn't be able to play as well because you'd be in the wrong gear. Know the game that you want to play. Start off by really thinking, and I belabor this. If you've seen any of my videos, you would realize that there is a theme that comes consistently, and that is the theme of why. Why are you getting up? Why do you want to invest in real estate? Why do you want to make money through real estate? I'm always asking this question because deep down, and honestly, it was this specific question that really got me going. It is this question that has also kept me away from many pitfalls. I have made mistakes, though. But luckily, it is this same question that gets me up very quickly and gets me moving in the direction I should. Know the game you want to play. So in real estate investing, there's actually 2 big games that is always at play. 2 big games. The one game is cash flow and the other is capital, right? You want to decide very early on which of these you are currently going to play. You can't play both at the same time. Well, some people say I can. Truth be told, if you focusing on 2 things at one time, especially in the area of real estate, you are bound to make certain misjudgment that may just affect you in the long term. I would always advise, know the game that you want to play. Look at your life and say, is it at the moment for cash flow? In other words, money coming in, or is it for capital? Am I taking money and multiplying it? Am I taking money and growing it? There's a difference between cash flow and capital, and you need to know which of the 2 games you are playing. Now that you know the game that you play, you need to understand the rules of the game. So the same way as arriving at the soccer match in your soccer gear, right? Now you've arrived in your soccer gear. When you're wearing the soccer gear and you don't know the rules of soccer, You will get a yellow card, you will get a red card, and before you realize it, you are out of the game. Know and understand the rules of the game. In this case, in your case, in my case, that is the game of real estate investing. There are certain laws around real estate investing. So just the other day, one of my clients inboxed me about a question around their tenants. So there's a client that is playing the rent to buy. So the game that this tenant is actually playing is for cash flow. And a simple thing as a lease agreement was not in place. And the tenant had given this client, what was it? An early termination notice. And in this, because of the pressure the tenant had given them, they just allowed the tenant to go and take in all the deposits and pay the tenant back, only to go and realize that the tenant had actually trashed the property. And this all happened in a period of like a week, right? That's only because this current client did not actually know and understand the rules of the game they're playing. So here we go. What are some of the rules to look out for? If you are playing, for example, a buy to let, one of the basic rules is always going to be the rule of the lease agreement, the contracting part, what governs you and your tenant. If you are playing the game of cash flow, it's always going to be the offer to purchase from an angle of how do you make a purchase from the beginning, right? Make it right, like buy it at the best price, and also stipulate the conditions under which you would be able to on-sell this property so that you could get your money back out. Because, for example, if you go and buy property today and you have the idea of turning it or selling it to the next person, in real estate and for the advanced people, we call it back-to-back deals. If you don't know the rule of structuring a back-to-back deal, chances are you're going to buy a property and you wouldn't be able to sell it as quickly as you thought you would. And in that process of flipping it for capital, you would lose. Personally, I've been through that, right? Where I bought a property that I was meant to actually flip. And because at the time I had not done my stuff properly and understood the game around or the rules around the exact deal that I was about to make, I kept the property a little bit too long and suffered from a process of people actually hijacking that property. I'm not saying this may happen to you, right? But I'm saying that first, you want to know the game you want to play. Two, you want to understand the rules of that game. Understanding the rules of this game also comes most times with coaching. Nobody gets onto the soccer field without a coach in the background, basically guiding them and giving the game plan for that day. Because if you get on the field without a game plan, you're going to get slaughtered. This leads me to the third point. The third point and the third expected I would give the 25-year-old me that was starting out. And that is always to say, select your team. Select your team. Real estate investing is a contact sport. It is a team sport. As much as it is about investing, you can never, ever, ever do it all alone. If you want to be alone in any investment, go ahead and do it with anything, but stay away from real estate investing, because real estate investing is, I promise you, it's a people's game. If you are terrible with people, you want to get coaching. Don't stay away from the game, get coaching. So just like everybody, if somebody is terrible at soccer, what do? They go and learn how to play soccer and they get coaching. They get coaching on how to kick right, where to position themselves, and how to be in the game, right? Right. Come back. You want to therefore select your team. In your team would be people like your property agent. I've not, I find this very, very awkward. There's so many people that say, I want to do rent to buy. Great, accepted. Your game plan is cash flow, accepted. Then they go and buy the property. And then after buying the property, they look for an estate agent. It doesn't work that way. Select your team before you actually get on the pitch. Have you seen people get on a soccer pitch and then afterwards look to the stands and say, hey, you join me, hey, you join me, hey, you join me? No, it doesn't work like that. Why do you want to do that with investing? Start off by choosing your team. You need, number one, you need a coach in your corner. If you don't have a coach on the pitch for that day, the team will play terribly, you will lose. Same with real estate investing. You will lose if you don't have a coach that has guided you, that is guiding you, and that is making sure that you are making the right decisions at the time that you're making. 2, based on your game, you need a real estate agent. If your game plan is for rent to buy, you need an estate agent who understands the game of real estate investing from a tenant point of view. So how to structure leases, how to manage the property from a back-to-back point of view, how to make sure they're invoicing the tenants right and getting everything back to you. If it's for capital, same thing. You want to understand or get an estate agent who understands the market in terms of what is a below market offer for you to make. Select your team, guys. In your team would include also your conveyancers. And these are people that, of course, your estate agents could also bring to you. You need a bookkeeper, somebody that will be managing your books. Again, this is where your estate agent, if you're doing a rent to buy, your estate agent will have some of these tools. This is also one of the reasons, by the way, that I created properties.com. This is one of the reasons that we've created this 100% Black youth-owned real estate agency that is growing at the fastest pace, but growing in terms of picking the right people and coaching them and building them and molding them to become experts within the field that they are in so that they can deliver 100% value to you. I had to learn from a very, very, very young start that I needed to select my team, and so do you. Third, this now pushes me to the 4th point or the 4th tip that I would give. That is basically decide on your role. Decide on your role and play it well. You've never seen soccer players get on the field and then everybody's wearing a number 1 jersey, have you? No. They all wear a different jersey. They all play a different position on that field. Yes? Yes. Any sport, every single team player does a specific thing. Real estate investing is a team sport, and you need to play your role. It horrifies me when I have somebody come in for coaching and say, I failed in real estate investing, and I failed because I didn't have money. And I say, no, pause right there. You failed because you were not managing your property very well. You didn't know what to do. You tried to be everything. You were landlord, you were bookkeeper, you were your own tax consultant, you were your own wealth advisor, you were your own insurance expert, you were everything. Because you were trying to do too much, you ended up failing. You don't want to do that. Decide on the role you want to play. And most of the time, the role that you really, really want to play is the part of CEO, the part of overseeing everything, the person that actually comes up with saying, this is where I'm going, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm taking my coach's advice, but I'm heading this way, and I'm heading this way with it, right? Decide on your role. Your role includes always making sure that you are credit worthy, that you are able to bring in the money, and you are able to, when the money comes in, redistribute it and plow it into the right places in your life that will help you to progress. This then leads to the 5th and final point, and that is keep score. Keep score and keep score again. What do I mean by this? I mean, measure every single cent that you spend on your real estate investment journey. Measure every single income that comes in. If it's capital, measure every single money. So when you take out 100,000, for example, and it brings you 500,000, when that 500,000 hits your pocket, you want to measure what did you actually spend between the 100,000 lump sum up until the 500,000 came. You find that you paid a carpenter, you paid so many different people. Those are all expenses. Measure expenses and measure your income. and be able to then evaluate what is your real profit. And with the profit, now keep all your expenses and be able to, of course, at the end of the year, present to SARS a good book so that you would also be able to get some money back from SARS in terms of expenses in the production of income. I hope this video was of great benefit to you. I certainly have enjoyed making it. This really, I had to dig deep. I had to go back to say what has allowed us to be successful. If this is the first time you've joined on this channel, please subscribe to that button right there. Click it, subscribe, and be on this channel. If you've already subscribed, make sure at the same time you click that bell. Click that bell so that every single time that I'm online, you will get a notification to be able to join in, right? Lastly, knowledge shared is wealth gained. Knowledge shared is wealth gained. Share this video. There's somebody out there whom, if they watch this video, would be able to actually change something in their life and be able to make a little bit more money. That little bit more money they make would be able to enable them to change other people's lives. We complain that the economy is terrible, the economy is this, everything is bad. But we forget that within ourselves lies the ability to lift everyone else up. Share this video with a friend. Comment, like, but share. So what did we talk about today? We talked about the 5 tips, the expert tips for real estate success. We said, number 1, you want to know the game that you're playing. Number 2, you want to understand the rules of real estate investing. Number 3, you want to make sure you select your team before you actually put money down. Number 4, you want to decide on your role and you want to play it well. Last but not least, keep score, keep score, keep score. I'm a Quagraine, and it was a great pleasure doing this short video for you. See you next week on this channel when we share yet another great expert tips that would enable you to grow a successful real estate portfolio. Have a great day. Cheers.